Hey gamers, welcome to the Part-Time Gamers Club where we game part-time but support gaming all the time. For those tuning back in, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. And if it's your first time here, I'm Gio. Alongside me is Gerard and Mike. On today's episode, we're going to be discussing the greatest gaming company alive. At least they think so. So Gerard, fill us in on Ubisoft's newest news, shall I say, or latest news
Uh,
from the greatest and best.
so recently, Ubisoft had a board member meeting going over their financial. They've discussed and had this board meeting, which, to the funny surprise of no one, uh, when reported on, game journalists kind of spun it around, threw around the questions, or edited out important answers lines, of which that is of which were very important to address and made them sound more eloquent than they actually were. The CEO responded to multiple questions from the board meetings about their movements towards a wokeism or their decision making process in some of the games like Assassin's Creed Shadows, and even their plans for the future when handling this kind of conflict and backlash from the of which none of the answers are even adequate or showing any improvement. If anything, they're tripling down onto some of these nonsense decision making processes. So, uh, they released a paper alongside their financial review, saying that the risk that they have for the drop in finances and revenue is because the community as a whole has decided to protest and the bastardize, I don't think that's the word I'm looking for, uh, their name and their products, uh, saying that we are, and I guess I'll quote this one because this one is very important. So the
I'll
page
take a guess here. It's going to be we are the problem, not them. In other words.
yeah, not in that as a whole quote. We as in the community is the problem. Ubisoft is okay. Uh,
Hmm.
but yes, they are saying that we're the problem and that they are
Right.
going to spend money and time and effort into making sure that they have new processes, new departments, even new policies going forward to have crisis management and uh, a anti-defamation kind of policy. So they were
Oh
going to
yeah.
go out and squash any anti-Ubisoft comments or anything like that. They're creating a new department for it. They're doing crisis management, as they would say. And
So
that
it's not
Sound
is,
our
fixing their games.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
is
Everything
ridiculous to
but
me.
fix the game.
Yes.
Everything but fix the game. That's why they're the greatest. Absolutely. Best of the best. Top notch. Top tier.
It's ridiculous. Like, what are your thoughts about a company, a video game company, saying we're not the problem, they are, and instead
Yeah.
of
And where we're
investing
gonna
in our
fix
game,
you.
yeah, in our game, we're going to make sure that anyone who complains about our games gets like an email from us, gets their shit struck down. We're gonna put new money into making sure that happens. We're making new departments. We have new policies for internal and external conflict management. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
I mean, I can understand if it's like a small segment of people kind of criticizing, because that's in every gaming
Yeah, yeah,
company.
yeah, 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 yeah. Everybody
There's
has
always
critics.
you're not gonna please everybody, but if there's a big enough backlash and you're not seeing it, or you're just blind to what the customers are saying. Well, they don't even say it's the customers, but it's like a cult, or I don't know what I've read
Yeah,
somewhere. It's like
they just say we're
an
just being toxic.
organized,
Yeah, yeah.
like an
We're toxic.
organized group. I'm
We're
like, no, we're not
bigots.
organized.
Yeah, yeah.
It,
Yeah. No, we just
it's
all hate
wild.
your game equally.
The fact that they have to acknowledge it should be a kind of like a clue, like, hey, something's wrong
Mm-mm.
here. Instead of fixing it, they're going through crisis that PR, basically PR,
Mike, they
crisis
know
PR.
something's wrong. It's just that they think we're wrong, not them. That's what they're identifying. They identified there is a problem.
Well, the trend is gonna keep going downwards if they think that they're not the problem. I mean,
I don't know. I don't know. I
I
just
don't know
think
what to say at this point because I think everything has spoken for itself, and they're still not. They're delusional or they're coping. Um, that it's not their fault. But I mean, sales is gonna they're gonna see the sales. The bottom line, they're gonna see that the bottom line eventually, and then it's probably gonna be too late because of this report, this financial report.
Yeah.
they
We're not
just got a
dumb.
bailout. They're still being stupid. They already are in the financial position they shouldn't be in. They're in the fucking red. They're struggling. They have to get handouts to stay alive, and they're still standing on business.
Yeah, like
Uh,
so I want to just quote what Ubisoft is doing because they say that they are being boycotted and their coordinated efforts that are detrimental to the group's economic interests, and that it is the fault of that community that is like preventing this. But this is what they said, and I quote: "This is straight from the document." In order to prevent and limit these risks, Ubisoft has implemented internal reputation monitoring, crisis management, and content moderation systems, and has adapted its communication strategy to reflect this new context, and its legal and human resources departments have developed appropriate processes to respond to these attacks on its reputation. On its reputation? Man, you are killing yourself. You are killing yourselves. What
they want the
reputation?
help. They want the help of like outside companies to help, like Xbox, Steam, and all that stuff to help their
Well,
PR mess. I'm like,
that's what they've been doing. That's what they've been doing with the YouTubers and all the fucking what you call it, the not publishers. I mean the writers, the critics. That's what they gave all these games. Now they openly finally admitted that Star Wars was a failure, but not because of them. No, no, no. It's because
it's good.
Disney has mishandled Star Wars and has ruined the product. So that's why Star Wars Outlaws didn't succeed. It had nothing to do with the game being broken. No, 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 no. Not, it was not Ubisoft. It was Disney.
Just lack of accountability. It's basically
Exactly.
what it's called. It's just lack.
Exactly.
And
That's
for
what they're doing
those,
this for.
yeah, and for those who don't know, as I'm just gonna give the name, so if people wanted to find it, this is the 2024-2025 Universal Registration Document, or the URD, and their annual financial report, of which the annual financial report is garbage, straight up trash. I wonder
Yeah,
why.
yeah. They I wonder. I have no idea. I have no idea. But I don't know if it was in that article, Gerard, or if you read a similar article where they were stating that because Legendary Drops referred to it in the video that previous employees of Ubisoft and some current ones that were still in there were like basically it's a very toxic environment right now for the developers as well because Ubisoft is obviously standing on ground and not wanting to hear the outside perspective and opinions. So it's more of
Alexa.
toxic
No.
positivity. They only want to hear you say positive things inside. You can't bring up what the outside people are saying because we're bigots and, we don't know what we really want and they know what's best for us gamers. That's basically what's going on in Ubisoft. And it's kind of crazy to think that even with all the money they've lost and having to get Tencent to give them a handout and keep them alive, they still refuse to acknowledge that their business practice are the problem.
Yeah, I don't understand how like how a company doesn't see themselves as a industry like they're held to a standard, and the standard you are being held to is not by the industry or any moral compass, it is by your consumer. Now, at the end of the day, you do need some kind of morality into your game, but sometimes the morality you use is also a mechanic. So like my point of view, Gears of War, Call of Duty, another example, Expedition 33. Those are very dark games. Story-wise, very dark, very like deaths everywhere, very like immoral in those aspects. I say immoral, but like sinful. Uh, those are very dark topics to even talk about. But you also have like the other swing of the pendulum, like very casual games, very upbeat games like Stardew Valley or
Mhm.
like Minecraft, things along those lines. Like Minecraft doesn't ever I'm making sure that I don't think I've ever seen blood. There's probably particles of blood, but I don't think I've ever seen blood in Minecraft. But there is this idea that morality plays a part in video games as a part of the game itself. But once you've like do this morality and put it into your game, that becomes a point of conflict. And more importantly, this is something that can be only determined as a good or bad thing from your players. You can't put something that's psychological or opinionated into a game and then think it is the player's fault that they didn't enjoy it. No, you added something that is an opinionated topic, or maybe not even opinion, a debatable topic, or something that's highly moral, and you have no say on how that turns out. You have a say if it goes in, you do not have a say on how the people respond to it. So when you are blaming them, the people who are paying for your products, that they are to blame, all you're saying is, we don't make games to make money. We make games to prove a point. And while that is a mobile a goal for people to have, you can't be putting that on your financial report though. That's not how that works.
It's like
You
they
can't,
dug themselves a hole and can't get out of it
They're
now.
trying to bury themselves. That's what they're doing. They're just
Just
putting the
weird.
dirt onto themselves.
And this was released on the financial. Like they could have just kept that internal.
now this
No,
Like I don't
they
know.
which like the internal management system or the fact that this risk management of them addressing this be- was on their
they
financial
probably should have
report
kept it.
because the
Yeah,
funniest
I
thing
mean,
is
They
yeah,
probably
the
should have kept
funniest
that.
thing is the board members were talking to them. We're questioning the CEO about like, hey, Assassin's Creed Shadows, we see that the game did not like sell well. Like we see what the community is saying, okay? We want to know what are your thoughts about what they say and how can we like switch this into our favor? Because again, at the end of the day, the board members are there to make money. It is an investment for them. They don't give a fuck about morals. They only
Nope.
care about money.
It's all about the
Like,
green.
yeah. And when you tell them, hey, we made a decision that because Yasuke does really well in other demographics, we thought we can bring him in because he's a successful story. And then that's not one, what they asked you for, but two, they asked, how's that making us money? And you didn't respond with how that's making us money. You responded with, we saw it elsewhere and we thought it was a good idea. And I was like, that's not how it works.
Well, it wasn't clearly a good idea. So how are
yeah,
you gonna fix it?
And like
yeah. Good luck with that.
yeah, I'm just like, okay, sure. Maybe you defend Yasuke, whatever, okay? That's not even
He's
the
like,
problem. But like the problem is that when they ask them, it's like, hey, is this your like is going forward, are you quote unquote woke or not woke? Like what is your decision making? Are you trying to push an agenda? Was this an idea that the community had, or was it an idea that you guys made and are being responsible for? And are you going to continue forward doing this? Because that's a very important question. It's like, hey, I understand you want to do this. I need to know, after the backlash of Assassin's Creed Shadows, will you continue to do this? Because at the end of the day, my thought is, if I'm that board member, I take out my investment if they continue to do this,
I'm
because
surprised they haven't voted him out of leadership yet.
they own the majority of shares of the CEO
So the
and the
board members
family.
can't vote him out of control?
You would need to have board members collectively have more shares than him. You have to have more
Yeah,
shares.
damn. They're gonna. I
Like,
would just
the
dip.
CEO is a
I
part
would
owner.
dip. I would dip so fast if I was those board members. It's all downhill, man. If you get a buyout and you're still on the same destructive path, like you literally did not learn. Like you're
Nope.
just trying to destroy the company at this point. Like,
Oh, Tencent is in there to pick up what remains of Ubi.
oh yeah, they're gonna let Ubisoft burn themselves to the ground.
Yeah, Tencent it didn't. I'm pretty sure Tencent did not advise them to, like, you don't need to
Mm-mm.
change your ways at all. Okay, you don't need to change your ways. You do what you think is right.
They're gonna
We're
get
gonna
that company for
and we're
pennies
gonna
on the
buy
dollar.
every time you make a mistake. We'll buy 10% more of your company because
Exactly what's gonna happen
it's gonna
until they
take at
have
least
full control.
yeah at least it's gonna take at least 5 more mistakes for you to learn. And at that point,
Well,
we own more than half of your company.
so all right, so let's talk about this though. So all right, they're doing this, but what does Ubisoft have in the I guess you could
Pipeline?
say in the oven cooking? Like what do they have? What's their next big release? Assassin's Creed didn't save them. Star Wars Outlaws was a bomb. They finally admitted it. They're still trying to make Assassin's Creed sound like it's a success. It's not a success. It's a fucking failure. Um,
I didn't even actually know what they have on their
yeah,
repertoire.
exactly. So what's going to save them over the next? They got to have a 5-year plan. What's their
So
5-year plan?
they have the new Prince of Persia game that's released.
Another one?
No,
I
never
thought they
mind.
did
That
that
was
one.
released. Ugh,
Mhm.
I don't even know at this point.
That's what
I
I'm
don't know what
wondering.
games are coming out. I don't know any
I haven't
type.
heard anything. Last year was supposed to be their big year with what is it, Shadow Bones and Star Wars and Assassin's Creed. They obviously pushed Assassin's Creed because the other two bombed so hard, and they tried to save face as best as they could with Assassin's Creed.
Now the next one's Anno 117, but you guys don't play turn-based games, so that's not a top
Well,
seller.
hold on.
Excuse
And
me.
he's
Do
not
you
mean
play
turn-based
Civilization?
RPG. He's not talking about turn-based RPGs.
I'm talking about Civilization.
Yeah,
Oh
he's
no,
talking
never
about.
mind.
Yeah.
He's talking like he's talking about like Warcraft 3 back in the day kind of stuff.
Not even. Warcraft 3 was RTS.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah.
Like StarCraft?
No,
No,
StarCraft
No.
is RTS too.
more like Civilization, like Sid Meier's
I've never played
Civilization.
Civilization, so I can't
Yeah,
speak
Yeah,
on it.
they got
that
they
like
got
that.
Only geeks like Gerard play that.
I don't know about geeks, more like nerds, but that's besides the point. Anyway,
geeks,
um,
nerds.
they're not
Nah,
the
nah,
same.
nah,
They're not.
nah, I'm not going. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not getting in that. I'll stay in my lane.
But like, uh, they have dropped a lot of projects as well. It's not like they've released all the projects they were working on. So maybe even the ones that they're keeping up the rep maybe will be dropped. But
But
like
they had to let go of teams. They've had to start downsizing. There's no way they could afford to run the same way they were. So they had to cut projects out.
like the net income, if you're looking at the financial report, the net income that they're having is all in parentheses. It's like they're barely making money in America, and God forbid in Europe, everything in Europe is in parentheses. So
Bro, but what are they telling the board members for the board members to stay on this ship? Like, what is giving the board members even hope or confidence that they can somehow pull themselves from the
I mean, I
depths
don't know the CEO
of
personally, but if he's a good talker, he could probably maybe find something to
look,
give them.
who gives a shit about talk when the literally there
No,
is a
but if you
downward trend for the
if you
last
could
10 years in Ubisoft. It's
I'm
but
not been improving.
if you could, you know, give them a piece
they're
like a hope, I guess. I don't know.
they
Some
don't got
hope,
no
but
hope. But I'm gonna say some people have already put their money in. They might not put more money in, but they're not. They can't pull out. What are they gonna do? They're gonna lose money or lose money. You might as well just stay on the boat. It's sinking. What are you gonna do? Swim out? There's no fucking lifeboats. So
I'd rather lose less on my money than I'm gonna lose if I stay sinking. I take the
they
loss
already
where it's at
paid.
right now.
They already paid.
Yeah, but sell your shares, get back whatever you can from it, and get out.
I want to see what their shares are because I'm pretty sure
It's
at
terrible already.
yeah.
It's lower than it's ever been, I think.
Yeah, that's why if I put in, let's just say I put in $10, if I'm going to get $1 back on my share, I don't even fucking want it. What's the point? It would cost me more to pull out the share than actually fucking not do anything.
But what I'm saying is I'd rather get it at $1 a share and get that dollar back than before it's 25 cents.
No,
I'd rather get as much back as I can.
If I'm gonna get $1 back, I don't give a fuck. It might as well not be $1. It might as well be zero. I'd rather not even take the dollar. I'd rather not $1 than
I'd rather
$1.
them not lose them. I'd rather them not lose me more of my money.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen. They already changed your $10 to $1. You are already at a 90% fucking downgrade.
I don't need to be at 100 then. That's what I'm saying.
It's not like taking the share out is going to do anything. They already got the money that you did. And then you can't sell it. Remember, you can sell, you have to sell the share. You have to find people willing to buy your share in a sinking ship for $1. And I don't even think people were willing to put $1 for that fucking share.
Actually, I'll wait till it tanks more and then I'll buy it.
And then
Because once 10 cents takes over, I might have a chance to make a good profit.
Well, here's the thing now. Here's the problem. If 10 cent takes over, and this is something economically, which happens a lot in business. If 10 cent takes over, there is a bankrupt process that Ubisoft will go through, and they might go through a merger, which will, all in purposes, take out all their stocks in their previous name, remove them. All of them would either get bought or required liquidation to a government or anything like that. And then the people after that will get merged in, and then Tencent will decide a stock price for the new merge. Or it could even be rebranded into a different company or become a shell company, of which the stocks would make no difference. There are way too many things you can do with a company to make it either useless or into like a completely different company in the eyes of like governments and stuff like that. To the point where having stocks in a company that is dying is really, really like kind of volatile because you don't know what the direction is. Because even if they go bankrupt, you lose your shares, you lose everything like that. You don't get recompensation because that's considered unsecured or unsecured funds. The only thing that it has to be paid off by Ubisoft is debts and bills. Anything that is considered an investment, they don't have to pay back on.
But what about this though? Since you're saying that, what about because you said Tencent will stay, like, let's say they keep buying a percentage. What about when they finally get the majority percentage? They just kick out the Guillemot family. Keep Ubisoft, but put a new CEO. Then it might still be worth having that investment in the shares, because then you can still
But
save
here's
face.
the idea. When you have the majority of shares, you don't need Ubisoft as a company anymore. You have
Yeah, but what I'm saying is the name is still recognizable. So why change the name? You'll still have the name. The name is still well known. You just need a new vision and new leadership.
Squaresoft is my example. Squaresoft was a recognizable name. They merged, changed it to Square Enix.
But they kept Square.
But that's because
but it's not positively well known.
It's not positively well known. Like you got to think sometimes a rebranding. It
used to be though.
I don't care. Yeah, but that's the thing. Ubisoft is in an exact same position. It used to be. Nobody wants to buy an Ubisoft product anymore. That's why the rebranding will probably happen. It is not about whether or not it's recognizable. They probably would rather start off fresh because Tencent has that kind of money to have a new company and everything like that. Or they can do what they already did, rip out all the core IPs that Ubisoft has, put it into a studio that they already own, and sell the remaining parts of it or distribute it along and just eat out like all the properties and assets that Ubisoft has, which is it's like the majority of what happens during mergers or subsidizing.
Yeah.
So
I
if
just-
Ubisoft gets to a position where Tencent owns more than 60%, forget about Ubisoft coming back as a company. That company's dead.
Mhm. Well, hopefully that does happen.
Hopefully it doesn't happen because Tencent is a company that will hold IPs in its back pocket. Because remember, League of Legends is a good example, but the reason why League of Legends has a lot of monetization and dark patterns that have been added over the recent years is because of Tencent. Tencent is a money focused business, which I have morality problems against. But as someone who like sees the hustle and who respects the hustle, I just like their money focused business. They do not shy away from it. They're very upfront about it. At least they tell me they're going to fucking like screw me over when they can. If they need money, they'll fucking let me know.
Well, they're gonna ask for my money
Exactly.
one way
So
or the other.
Ubisoft is in uh, a bad state and they don't see it. It's like everyone's telling them your ship has holes in it and they go like, "No, this is the Titanic. We're unsinkable." That's what they fucking think.
It's like the girl that you tell constantly he's the toxic, and she needs to get out of that relationship, but she's like, you don't know him as well as I do. That's what it seems like.
So Geo speaking from personal experience. Uh
Yes, a lot of women that don't listen. I don't
I
understand.
was going to say guys are that same way too. But uh
That's true too.
so like it's just per person. I think
Human
humanity as a
nature.
whole.
Human
Yeah.
nature.
It's human nature to just ignore problems and flaws that you have committed to. And that's like the real thing that I think Ubisoft is in. They have committed to an idea and they do
They're going
not
full
find the
force.
flaws in it. So when
Hmm?
people are telling them they are wrong, they don't understand why and are saying we are wrong for telling them they're wrong. And that's the true point of it. What they don't understand is you are a company, it doesn't matter the reason why you are wrong. If your customer is telling you you are wrong, you have to figure out a different way. Because at the end of the day, they're the ones who write your fucking paychecks. They're the ones who pay your bills. They are the ones who make your company successful. You cannot be a successful company if you ostracize the people who make you successful.
Well, apparently they believe they can be.
Oh, look, what they believe in, we already know is false. They believe in lies or believe
We
they have
know that. They
self-confidence.
don't.
Exactly. They have a lot of self-confidence that something they probably made a deal with
Unwarranted.
a demon or a devil to make sure like, hey, we can't fail, and they are really convinced that they can't.
Yeah. They're
Or
like, oh, we
somebody's
got
telling them something else. Are they being advised incorrectly?
poorly,
I don't know.
very poorly.
Yeah, someone is
Whoever's their PR
That
rep or
that's
manager
why I'm
is.
saying I like from the very beginning I was like, there's no way that they do these many mistakes and they don't see it. They have to be trying to sell out the company or they're trying to do something, which doesn't make any sense to me unless it was after the fact that they were drowning. Once they started drowning and they recognized it, now they're like in pitchfall. They're trying to get out. Which is probably why
Interesting.
Tencent didn't buy out because they wanted someone to buy out, and Tencent's like, no, we'll subsidize you instead. We'll give you a bit of cash. We'll take 10%. We'll take all your important IPs, and then you can continue on. We're gonna eat like your rotting carcass as you die slowly, but we refuse to buy you out right now because honestly, and in my mind, paying them $1 billion for just like 10% is a long-term investment of them getting the entire company.
Hmm.
It's $1 billion now. It is only like $250 million later to buy
Yeah,
the company.
exactly. They're basically gonna buy them for pennies on the dollar in a few years.
Yep.
Hmm.
Tencent's like
They knew
we're
what
in
they
a,
were doing.
yeah, Tencent's in a good position right now. They got Riot, they got a whole bunch of Chinese. Like I think they're also a heavy producer on almost every single Chinese game. So like Blood Message, Wu Chang,
Yeah, I think we was talked
Black
about one.
Myth
I don't know
Wukong.
about Wu Chang. I don't know about Fallen Feathers though. I gotta check on that.
Oh, their producers or publishers are in
Like another Chinese company, a different
no
one.
no no. There I don't think there was. I think we talked about it. Remember? Um,
Yeah, it was Les. No, those are the developers, not the publishers.
that
505
Leslie's
Games is their publisher.
505 is the publisher. Um, so at the end of the day, and this is my final thoughts, and I
Mhm.
want everyone's final thoughts after. Ubisoft believes we're the problem. They have glasses on, and the glasses are blackened sunshades, and they can't see through. They
And they're
have
looking through tinted windows at the same time.
yeah, and it's not even short term. They don't have a short term problem. They have a short term and a long term problem, and they refuse to solve both of them. So
Mhm.
they're destined to fail. And from these financial reports and from what they've said to their board members and anything like that, I don't think that's changing anytime soon. I give Ubisoft one more year before it fails, before they go call bankruptcy.
You think it's that fast? I think
I
it'll be
don't.
another couple of
They
years.
they haven't made any money, and we don't see anything in their pipeline. And they just lost a whole bunch of IPs. And
I
not
don't
and
think
it's
it's
not
gonna be
yeah, it's not even like it's not even just random IPs. They lost their top selling IP.
I don't know. I don't know. What do you think, Mike? You think you give them a year?
I could see it happening. I mean, if nothing is progressing towards you know,
Because
end of the light.
yeah, because they
But
said they're implementing new processes, which means that they're spending more money for a problem that doesn't exist.
yep.
Mm,
So a year seems realistic, but I say like maybe 2, 3 years, unless they like come up with something from now till like the end of the year where they could throw a shining light. Hey, this is
Yeah, but then you
something
need
to look
people.
forward to. But
Then
you
then
need
you,
people.
you need people to invest. You need people to
Yeah.
invest.
So maybe it's a little too late, but yeah, a year can be realistic. But I think 2 to 3 years if the
hmm
trend keeps going the same way.
I think Tencent's gonna give them a chance to get another big game out there.
Tencent's not gonna
I
do
s-
shit.
well, the money they got from Tencent should help them buy them time to get another
You know when was
couple
that deal
projects
made?
out.
When was that?
Wasn't that the earlier this year? I think that was earlier this year. It was around just right. Yeah, it was right after Assassin's Creed came out.
Oh,
Right
we'll
after
talk
Assassin's.
about this after.
But
Oh, excuse me. They didn't own. They have 25%. It's not even gonna take that long. Another 25% for another billion gone, and it was a billion in
I
pounds.
found their upcoming projects. So
Besides
for
Anna,
6 games are planned for 2025 and 2026 from Ubisoft. A new Ghost Recon, a
that had
multiplayer Far Cry, the next Far Cry in the main saga. So there's two
7.
Far Cries that are supposed to be come out. Assassin's Creed Codename Hexy Project Blackbird. I don't know. It's supposed to be two Assassin's Creeds they're working on, and then a Splinter Cell remake announced for this. Wait, no.
Splinter Cell. That's a good game.
I want
Ish.
you to know, Splinter Cell, uh, Ghost Recon, both Tom Clancy games, owned by Tencent or made by the subsidiary.
Oh,
Tencent gets that portion of money. They're not even getting a full return on those.
and they own Assassin's Creed too now, right?
I think so. I think that's what was part of it as well.
Thanks.
Yeah, all those games you just mentioned, they're not even getting full.
They have to split that with
Yep.
Tencent.
It's better than nothing, right? If it's
Only if
If
it
it's
performs
successful,
well. Yeah, only if
yeah.
it performs well.
I'm like, wait, what? You know, and that they haven't been doing that. They haven't been performing well. Because if they were, they wouldn't be in the situation they're in right now. So whatever. I don't know. You know, they're the greatest game company, so I'm sure they'll show us gamers, you know,
They'll
that
prove
they
us
were right.
wrong.
Yeah, that they were right all along. You know what? We don't know better. They know better.
Yeah, so the subsidiary that is owned by both Tencent and Ubisoft, uh, is Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, uh, specifically Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six. So the Ghost Recon and the Splinter Cell are
The
currently
only thing about
not,
Ubisoft.
yeah, currently by Ubisoft, which means that I'm even less, uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Confident in those games. Less, I'm more confident about the Far Cries.
This is gonna be it's gonna be interesting. So you give them a year? Think I think
And
it'll
by
be
the way, I'm not talking about a year from now. I'm just talking about like next year, sometime 2026.
Oh, within the next.
I still think it's
I
gonna
don't
be
know.
like 3 to 5 years.
I don't think it's going to be any path. I don't even think it's going to get to 4. My thought is next year. I don't think it goes past, what is
2027.
2025?
By the end of 2027, you expect them to be gone.
I'll go 2028. That's the furthest I'll go.
So that's 3 years.
Yeah, you said 5.
Yeah.
I
5.
said 3 to 5. I said
Yeah,
3 to
I
I
5.
don't
said
even.
2 to 3.
Yeah,
You
I
said
don't
3.
expect any past 3. I by the end of 2028, they will not. We won't. Even, they won't even be alive at 2029. Like January 1st,
Probably
they're not there.
renamed. You think? Renamed, rebrand, probably.
I would
No
consider
stress.
that them dying. If they rebrand, rename,
Oh
or
yeah.
yeah. If Ubisoft in any way is no longer Ubisoft, I consider that them dead.
Def.
Yes. I
I
will
consider
say
that a
though,
win
I will
for the gaming
say,
community.
and this is the last thing I say before we get off. I will say that if Tencent, whatever miraculous reason, takes over
Mhm.
Ubisoft and Ubisoft stays as Ubisoft, and they just like rip out management and then like implement anything, I will say that is not them dying. But that's like a 1% chance. 1%
That's
chance.
not them dying, but it is dying at the same time because they're killing
Exactly.
off the old
Old Ubisoft
business
doesn't
practices.
exist.
Yeah, yeah.
But I will say that keeps them. Uh, I will say that is still Ubisoft as a company is just under new management.
Yep. But that's what I was saying for stocks. Like that's what I would hope happens. Because if I could buy the stocks low enough and they can get new management in there and revive Ubisoft.
I mean, they also need to put up products out. But anyway, we're getting off topic. Uh, make sure you guys. Or does anybody have any final things to say?
No, we did.
Okay.
Greatest company of ever that's gonna die in 2 to 3 years.
The greatest company that is digging are on a speed run to digging themselves their grave 6 feet deep, 2 feet wide. Make sure you leave a like and comment down below on your thoughts on Ubisoft's new policies and processes, and whether or not you think they'll last. Or give us an exact number if you're really confident. We'll see you guys next time.
Peace.
Later.